Robert Downey Jr. stands in the center of a closed-door meeting at Marvel Studios, and his voice is shaking with intensity. "If we let Dr. Doom lead this movie, it's going to fail," he declares, each word echoing against the silent walls. The very man who launched the MCU as Iron Man is sounding an alarm no one expected to hear. The atmosphere is electric with tension. Faces around the table, producers, writers, even Marvel President Kevin Feige, are frozen in disbelief. This isn't a casual suggestion or a minor note. It's a full-throated warning from the MCU's biggest icon. RDJ's eyes burn with a mix of passion and frustration. He's never been one to mince words when it matters, and right now, everything he helped build seems to be on the line. "Doomsday will flop if we keep going down this path," he continues, hands clenched on the table. No one interrupts. It's as if Tony Stark himself walked into the room, issuing a final ultimatum to avert disaster. The project in question is Avengers: Doomsday, Marvel's next epic meant to follow in the gigantic footsteps of Endgame. Anticipation was sky-high until now. In this moment, RDJ isn't just an actor or a retired Avenger. He's the elder statesman of a cinematic empire pleading for its soul. The weight of his legacy gives his words a gravitas that no one else in Hollywood could match. For a heartbeat, the room remains silent after RDJ's proclamation. Each person present feels the gravity of his statement. The future of the Avengers franchise, and perhaps the MCU itself, hangs in the balance. "I'm serious," he adds quietly, breaking the hush with raw emotion. "We're risking everything if Dr. Doom is our lead villain. It's more than a warning. It's a desperate call to action, and it's only the beginning." How did it come to this breaking point? To understand the alarm RDJ is sounding, we rewind to the months leading up to this tense standoff. Avengers: Doomsday had been a beacon of hope for Marvel, the first grand ensemble after the era of Thanos and the Endgame finale. On paper, it was supposed to be a surefire triumph, but behind the glossy announcements and fanfare trouble was quietly brewing. The plan to make Dr. Doom the central antagonist of Doomsday was a bold move. Victor Von Doom is an iconic villain, yes, but one tied closely to the Fantastic Four, not the Avengers. Marvel Studios, desperate to ignite fresh excitement, believed introducing Doom as the new ultimate threat could shock and wow the audience. Kevin Feige and his team pitched it as a game-changer, a way to raise stakes even higher than before. Initially, few dared to question it. After all, Marvel's leadership had delivered hit after hit for a decade. Watching from the sidelines since Endgame, still deeply connected to the franchise he helped create. Officially, he wasn't slated to appear in Doomsday. Tony Stark's story had ended heroically, but Marvel couldn't completely let go of their talisman. They invited RDJ as a creative consultant and mentor for the younger cast, a gesture of respect and perhaps a safety net. He read the early scripts, visited the set, and was there to lend his wisdom. At first, RDJ's concerns were murmured in private chats and polite suggestions. He raised an eyebrow at Doom's sudden elevation, gently asking how audiences would accept a villain they barely knew leading the Avengers' biggest showdown. Some executives assured him, "Don't worry, we'll make Doom the villain everyone fears." Yet as rewrites piled up and the storyline grew convoluted, Downey's unease turned into alarm. By the time we reached that explosive meeting, the quiet rumblings of discontent had escalated into a full-blown storm. Every hint of trouble that had been brushed aside was now crashing down all at once. Demanding to be addressed, the conference room crackles with energy as Robert Downey Jr. faces down Marvel's top brass. Kevin Feige sits at the head of the table, fingers steepled, attempting a calm he doesn't truly feel. Beside him are a couple of high-ranking producers and the film's director. All eyes now trained on RDJ. The seconds after Downey's warning feel interminable. Finally, Feige clears his throat. "Robert, let's all take a step back," he says evenly. "We value your input, but Dr. Doom is central to our vision for this film." RDJ's jaw tightens. He isn't here to back down. "I've seen the vision, Kevin, and it's not working," he fires back, voice firm but not yelling. The story's lost focus. Audiences won't care about a villain we've barely set up. Not in an Avengers movie. We're risking the entire franchise. On this gamble, his words come out steady, commanding. Everyone in that room knows Downey has a point. They've just been too deep in the project to say it. One of the producers shifts uncomfortably, chiming in with a forced smile. The fans love Dr. Doom in the comics. They'll love him. Here, too, we have it under control. Downey's gaze sharpens. Do we? He asks, raising an eyebrow. Because from where I stand, we're about to serve the audience something half-baked and expect them to eat it up just because Marvel's name is on it. There's a hushed gasp. No one at Marvel speaks this bluntly to leadership. No one, except perhaps the man who anchored their biggest successes. Feige's measured expression falters. What exactly are you suggesting? He asks quietly. The room holds its breath. RDJ leans forward, planting both hands on the table. I'm suggesting we rethink this now, before it's too late. It's a line in the sand, Tony Stark's audacity channeled through Robert Downey Jr., challenging the powers that be. To do what's right for the story, not just the hype. News of the confrontation spreads through the studio like wildfire despite the closed doors. In hushed phone calls and backstage whispers, Marvel's crew and cast begin to learn that Robert Downey Jr. went toe-to-toe with the bosses. By evening, nearly every major player in the Avengers, Doomsday production, has heard some version of its shock is the common reaction. RDJ, the man who had always been the team's anchor, challenging Marvel's direction so openly. It's unprecedented. Tom Holland finds out while on set, still in his Spider-Man suit, during a rehearsal. A production assistant mutters, RDJ just blew up at the executives about the villain. Tom's eyes widen behind the mask. He immediately slips away during a break to call Downey. Are you okay? Tom asks softly when RDJ picks up. There's a pause, then a weary sigh from the other end. I had to do it, Tom. Someone had to say it, RDJ admits. Tom can hear the weight in his mentor's voice. For what it's worth, I'm with you, Tom says in a rare moment of somberness. Dr. Doom wasn't sitting right with any of us. He isn't alone. Other cast members trade texts and furtive conversations testing the waters. Some, like Paul Rudd, offer words of encouragement. Rudd jokes in a group chat, if anyone can save the day, off-screen, it's Iron Man, punctuated with a heart emoji, lightening the mood just a bit. Even those not directly involved old guard like Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson catch wind of the drama. A short message pings our DJ's phone from Evans. You do what you think is right, brother. The Avengers family, scattered but still connected, rallies quietly behind the man they trust. Marvel's leadership, however, is less comforted. Inside the executive suite, Kevin Feige and his team regroup in urgent deliberation. They know the gravity of losing the cast's confidence. The fault lines are clear now. On one side, a creative vision stubbornly pursued. On the other, the very heroes who brought that vision to life. Now fearful it's being led astray. Late that night, Los Angeles lies quiet. But Robert Downey Jr.'s mind is loud with second thoughts. He sits alone on the balcony of his home, city lights flickering below like a bed of stars. A cool breeze does little to ease the heat of adrenaline still coursing through him. In the silence, the weight of what he's done settles in. He challenged the very studio that redefined his career. He can't help but ask himself, have I gone too far? On the small table beside him, an old Iron Man helmet, a gift from the original Iron Man shoot, catches the moonlight. RDJ picks it up gently. The metal is cold to the touch, but it sparks warm memories of triumphs and risks that paid off. Back then, Marvel was an underdog, and he was a gamble. Together, they made history by trusting their gut. That thought steadies him. He remembers why he spoke up, because he cares deeply about this universe and the fans who believe in it. His phone buzzes quietly. A text from Jon Favreau, his friend, and the man who directed him in Iron Man, glows on the screen. Heard about today. Proud of you for speaking out. Downey exhales a breath he didn't realize he was holding. He replies, thanks, John. Hope it makes a difference. For a moment, he allows himself a tired smile. If anyone understands, sticking out your neck for a story's sake, it's Favreau. They've done it together once, when no one believed in them. Staring out at the night skyline, RDJ wrestles with equal parts fear and resolve. He knows that the road ahead is uncertain. The studio might dig in its heels, or they might bend. Either way, the die is cast. "This isn't about me," he whispers to the empty dark. "It's about doing what's right for the story." In that quiet declaration, Downey finds a calm determination. Come morning, he'll be ready to face whatever consequences or breakthroughs await. Marvel Studios had hoped to keep this internal strife under wraps, but the walls have ears, and some of those ears love to talk. Within 48 hours, whispers turn into headlines. Entertainment blogs and YouTube channels erupt with claims like "Trouble on Avengers," "Doomsday set," and Robert Downey Jr. clashes with Marvel over Dr. Doom.
The story is out, and the public is gobbling up every morsel that fans wake up to a whirlwind of social media chatter. On Twitter, hashtag Doomsday debate and hashtag listen to our DJ begin trending worldwide. Thousands of comments flood in. Some fans are stunned that Marvel might be stumbling so badly. Others rally behind Downey's reported stance. If a DJ is worried, we should be worried. One popular post reads, racking up likes, the fandom is on edge. After a string of uneven recent projects, faith in Marvel's infallibility was already shaken, and now even Iron Man himself seems alarmed, caught off guard by the leak. Marvel's PR machine scrambles. An official statement is released claiming, production on Avengers, Doomsday is going smoothly. Any reports of conflict are overblown, but the stiff formality of the press release convinces few. Kevin Feige appears at a scheduled press event looking composed, insisting with a practiced smile that Doomsday is shaping up to be something special still. Reporters catch a note of strain in his voice when they press about our DJ's involvement, and his evasive answers only fuel more speculation. Back on set, the mood is uneasy. Cast and crew swap nervous glances. Aware that every move might become tomorrow's scoop, Tom Holland is extra careful not to slip any hints in interviews others. Like Benedict Cumberbatch and Brie Larson, keep their heads down, focusing on their scenes and quietly hoping the powers that be sort this out. The story that began behind closed doors has escaped into the world, and now everyone, from the actors on set to fans in their living rooms, waits with bated breath to see what happens next. Part 7. Ultimatum and Rising Firth leak changes. Everything, what was a contained fire, is now ablaze, threatening Marvel's carefully crafted image. Inside Marvel's headquarters, emergency meetings run late into the night. The phrase franchise fatigue is whispered for the first time in a place that once believed itself bulletproof. If Avengers, Doomsday fails, truly fails, it could shake the entire MCU to its core. The fear is no longer abstract. It's on every executive's face. Robert Downey Jr. is invited, or rather, summoned, to a high-level strategy session. The air in the boardroom is thick with urgency. Kevin Feige's eyes are red from lack of sleep, and others look equally strained. They all know the stakes. Feige clears his throat and speaks candidly. "Bob, we need to find a solution, together." It's as much an olive branch as it is an admission that our DJ's alarm can't be ignored now that the world knows. Downey doesn't gloat. That's not why he's here. Instead, he lays it out plainly. The story needs fixing, and fast. We course correct, or we risk a flop of unprecedented scale, he says, voice steady. It's not a threat. It's a fact. He even offers a hard truth. If we don't get this right, I can't keep my name attached in any form. I won't watch fans lose faith in us. It's the closest he's come to an ultimatum. The notion that he might walk away entirely, cutting the last thread connecting him to Doomsday, the room falls silent. Losing Downey's support, even if he's not starring, his endorsement means the world to fans would be a public relations nightmare on top of everything else. One executive rubs his temples and speaks up, voice cracking. "What do you need us to do?" In that moment, Marvel's leadership finally yields. The very real possibility of Doomsday living up to its name has humbled them. They await our DJ's answer, bracing themselves for whatever drastic changes might come. The future of the film, maybe even the MCU, hinges on the next few moments. Part 8, changing course to save Doomsday. A hush falls over the room as everyone looks to our DJ. This is the turning point. Downey takes a slow breath, gathering his thoughts. He knows this can't just be about scrapping a villain on a whim. It's about restoring a story that makes sense. First, he begins, we refocus the narrative on the Avengers themselves. Audiences need to care about our heroes on a personal level again. Right now, they're getting lost in Dr. Doom's shadow. heads nod around the table. It's a gentle rebuke of the current script. The heroes of the story have taken a backseat to spectacle. Second, we integrate Doom differently. RDJ continues, if we're keeping him. He can't just waltz in without proper build-up. Maybe he's working with a bigger threat, or he's a pawn in something even scarier that we reveal later. Give the fans a twist, not a foregone conclusion. At this, a spark kindles in Kevin Feege's eyes. A twist, the idea of not making. Doom the be-all, end-all, but a stepping stone opens creative floodgates in the room. The director leans forward, excitement returning to his voice as he brainstorms aloud about surprise villains or secret plots that could up the stakes. We also need heart, Downey adds. And his voice softens. Remember what made the first. Avengers or Endgame work, it wasn't just the bad guy. It was the team, the relationships, the moments that made us cheer and cry. Round the table, some smiles appear. They all remember. It's like the fog is lifting-ish by the meeting's end. Whiteboards are filled with revised plot beats and character moments. Plans are set in motion to halt the current shoot for a short break. A radical move, and bring back a few key writers. Marvel will publicly call it a planned production pause, but everyone in that room knows it's a rescue mission. As they file out, Kevin Feige places a hand on our DJ's shoulder and offers a quiet, heartfelt thank you. For the first time in weeks, there's a glimmer of hope that Avengers, Doomsday can be saved from itself. Part 9. Rewriting the ship's course of days that follow are a frenzy of creative work. But this time it's fueled by optimism instead of panic. Writers who had been sidelined are brought back into the fold, brainstorming fresh ideas late into the night. Storyboards are torn down and redrawn. The new direction spreads through the crew like a rejuvenating wave. Where there was dread, now there's determination. On set, the difference is palpable. The cast is informed of the changes in a heartfelt meeting. Kevin Feige himself addresses them, owning up that the story needed adjustment. He assures everyone, "We're doing what's necessary to make this the movie you all deserve to be." And there's a collective sigh of relief and even a smattering of applause. Some actors exchange smiles. They'll never admit it on record, but a lot of them feel like a looming shadow has lifted that Tom Holland notices it firsthand in a revised scene being rehearsed. Peter Parker has a raw, emotional moment that wasn't. In the old script, a quiet conversation remembering Tony Stark's sacrifice while grappling with the new threat. As Tom delivers the lines, he catches sight of our DJ standing just off camera. Invited on set to observe and advise, Downey gives him a small nod of encouragement. Eyes shining with pride, the moment feels right. It feels earned. The production pause ends and filming resumes with renewed vigor. The crew works double time, but with smiles and a sense of purpose. A stunt coordinator laughs that he hasn't seen morale this high since the first Avengers film. Meanwhile, Marvel quietly adjusts its marketing strategy to align with the story tweaks, hinting at surprises instead of solely touting Dr. Doom as the selling point. The turnaround is happening. It's not easy. Each day is a tightrope walk between meeting the release deadline and perfecting the narrative. But it's working, and at the center of it all, Robert Downey Jr. remains a guiding presence, not dominating. Just there whenever someone needs a boost or a bit of that Iron Man wisdom. Avengers, Doomsday is getting a second chance, and everyone on board can feel it. Part 10, final act of redemption months later. The crisis that nearly sank Avengers, Doomsday has transformed into a story of redemption in a packed auditorium at the next big fan convention. Kevin Feige takes the stage to unveil the film's first trailer. The lights dim as the footage rolls. Fans around the world watch with apprehension. They've heard the chatter, the fears, but what they see blows them away. A gripping montage of hero moments, high stakes, and at the very end, a tantalizing glimpse of a greater threat looming behind Dr. Doom. It's a twist no one saw coming, and it sends the crowd into a frenzy just online. The trailer trends for days, with reactions shifting from worry to wild excitement. Marvel, it seems, has pulled off the impossible once again. Backstage, Robert Downey Jr. watches the audience erupt in cheers and sighs in relief. Tom Holland is beside him, practically bouncing with glee. They love it. Tom whispers, eyes bright. Downey just smiles, the quiet, satisfied smile of a man who fought for something important and won. Kevin Feige steps down from the stage and spots RDJ in the wings for a moment. The two just look at each other, a world of gratitude, and respect passes between them in that glance. Feige extends a hand, but RDJ pulls him into a brief, brotherly hug instead. "We did it," Feige says softly. "No." Downey replies, "We all did it, together." The alarm Robert Downey Jr. sounded ended up saving Avengers Doomsday from living up to its ominous name. The film is now poised to soar rather than stumble. More than just salvaging one movie, the ordeal reminded everyone why they fell in love with the MCU in the first place, a universe built on heart, courage, and the willingness to stand up for what's right, on screen and off, as a DJ walks out to greet a wave of ecstatic fans. One thing is clear. Sometimes the hero we need isn't wearing a suit of armor in the film. He's the one behind the scenes fighting for the soul of the story.